always good. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Louise, for inviting me. I'm here to disrupt your day a little bit because so far you've been hearing the stories of the big companies. I'm here for InShared, which is a relatively young company, and it's a completely different company. So in 25 minutes, I hope I will be able to tell you everything about the model. Before I start, I'd like to start with something non-insurance. I'd like to start with this quote of Uber. I think most of you have read it or have seen it somewhere. It is about what's happening today. It's about the big international brands like Uber, which is the largest taxi company, but it owns no vehicles. Facebook has the most popular media owner, but it creates no content, etc. So it's no longer about what you have, but it's about how you can bring things together. Why do I start with this example? Because, to be honest, as a customer, I love Uber. Why? Because finally I have a taxi driver that is friendly. I pay less, especially in the Netherlands. Uber is much cheaper than the taxis, and waiting times are much lower. So for me, I know the taxi industry thinks completely different, but for me as a customer, this is a big step forward. And I think this is also the way we should think about insurances. So that's why I start here. But for the rest, I will talk about InShared. I said before, it's a Dutch company so far. It was based 2009 as a greenfield operation. We offer the full non-life product range. So we offer car, home, bike, pet, well, anything you can imagine. And we are famous for a slogan, "We all benefit." And what does it mean? Of every 100 euros that we get of premium, we need 20 to run our operations and to make a little money. We save 80 euros to pay out claims. In case we need less in a year, so let's say we need 75, we pay back the 5 euros to our clients. Not in a discount on next year, it's just a cash back on your bank account. In that way, we stimulate also our clients to be more careful because they also have a responsibility to keep the claims down. As I said, we are a fully digital company, and I will explain later what it means. In essence, it means that you as a client have to do everything yourself, and you basically do it online. The only moment where you can call us is when you had an accident. If you have a question about a product, you cannot call us. We have different ways, I will explain. But this is basically what it is. It's fully digital. So where are we today? After 5-6 years being in the market, we have a market share of 10% in the online car sales. And online is about half of the total market, so we have a market share of 5%. We have the highest NPS score in the market, and it's a +13, so it's not, the best mark you could have, but all the insurers have a negative, so they have a minus figure in the Netherlands. So I guess we should be happy. And we combine it with the lowest cost ratio in the market. Final figure, we manage 500,000 policies with 32 people. Good, so basically this is the essence of my story. The digital model we have creates the perfect balance between the client satisfaction and the cost ratio. Before I go into more detail, a bit of how we look at the world, because I know that the Netherlands is a bit different from some of the other countries, but this is what we see happening, and I think this is happening over countries, to be honest. It is really about the customer. We had the first presentation also about being customer-centric, but the customer today is very knowledgeable. He knows exactly what he wants, and if he doesn't know, he knows where to find information that he's looking for. He can go on the internet, he can ask his friends, he can go on Facebook to ask his virtual friends, and that makes him more knowledgeable than ever. That also means that we as insurance companies or as banks, we're no longer the authority for him. He can find his information anywhere, and we just have to make sure that we offer the right solutions for them. It makes the client feel more confident and stronger than before. Online, when we started 2009, some people asked us, are you sure about online? Are you sure about the internet? We never ever get that question anymore because everyone is convinced that online is the way to go. And maybe 5 years ago, online was more of the younger generation, but today online is of everyone. we have an overrepresentation of 50-plus-year-old people because they use the tablets more. They are more interested, apparently, in switching insurances, etc., so we are overrepresented there. Then some words that I'd like to share with you from a Belgian professor. So they're not mine words, but they represent what we as InShared stand for. It's about extreme customer centricity. Everything we do has to be of benefit to the customer. It is about technology as a facilitator. So technology is not the purpose, it's not the objective, but it facilitates things, especially if you're digital. And it's about selling without selling. It's not about us having a cool campaign or an ad on television. It's about our customers experiencing our service and telling about it to their friends. That's how we can grow. So what happened to online sales? This is a graph that shows the sales in the Netherlands for non-life and here of life. What you can, well, you can't read it, but I can tell you. What you can see here is that now more than 50% of car sales, car insurance sales, are done online, so actually buying. When we started, it was only 20%. For life, we are now at 40%, and for health, it's even worse. It's 85% that is sold online. I say worse, but for us, it's not worse, obviously. So what does it show? I have a lot of discussions with also other countries and other insurance companies, and they say, yeah, but this is the Netherlands. Sure, this is the Netherlands, so we may be a bit faster than some of the other countries, but I believe that in every country you will make this move. It may go sooner, it may be sooner, it may be later, but it will grow that way because clients today, they're grown, let's say, in a digital way. So what does it mean if they search for car insurance online? This is a research done by Google and a research agency, a typical customer journey of a client in Northern Europe looking for a car insurance. What does he do? Well, first of all, look at this. It takes him, on average, 38 days and 17 actions. So it's not that he decides today, I need a car insurance, and he buys today or tomorrow. No, on average, it takes 38 days. What does he do? Well, the good news for us, I guess for all of us here, is that he still goes to the websites of the brands that he knows. He goes to the direct writer site. Then he asks around a bit, and only then he goes to the aggregator. We were a bit afraid that we were going to the UK situation. I don't know if there are people from the UK here, but the UK is aggregator dominated. It doesn't matter which brand you have as long as you're on the aggregator. We are fortunate to be in a position where brands are still very important, but look at this, just after going to the aggregator, he decides to buy. So it does mean that you need a good position on the aggregator's website. It doesn't need to be a #1 position. We know exactly in which segments we want to win, and in those segments where we want to win, we aim for a top 3, top 5 position. A top 1 position, to be a top 1 everywhere, is too expensive, basically, and it's not necessary. Mobile, I guess obvious for everyone, but when we started 2009, it was mainly desktop focused. So in a way, we were old-fashioned after 2 years because we had to change everything to mobile, and now we're basically mobile first, or maybe even mobile only. We make one website which is responsive. 35% of our business goes on mobile devices, especially in weekends. People use the mobile devices to look for insurances and to buy insurances. Good, that's about the market in general. A bit more about InShared. What does it mean to be a digital player? I'm starting off with a short video on how we digitized the claims process. We digitized the whole process, and the claims part was the last part. It was the sort of final piece, because it's also the most difficult part, I guess. And this video shows you what we did and how it works today.
At InShared, we do everything online, from changing an insurance policy to invoicing to customer service. All the elements we require as an insurer are brought together on our unique IT platform, SignOsure. The age of paper dossiers, memos and correspondences is far behind us. However, there was one thing that we did the old-fashioned way, settling claims. This, of course, was bothering us. Therefore, it's about time for the new way of settling claims. We're rather proud of SinoClaim since we devised, designed and built it ourselves. It's the first fully automated claims process in the world, whereby our clients can always have an overview of what's happening with their claims. So how does it work? Well, around 60% of all claims are relatively simple. That's why we're rejecting the old-fashioned way, with its phone calling, letter writing and filling in reports, followed by more calling and writing, and embracing the new straight-through process. When clients have a claim, they can now report this online and answer a questionnaire customised to their specific situation. The system then immediately checks the policyholder or driver, the object involved, any previous claims, the fraud database, and determines in no time if the claim is covered or not. The client then gets an immediate answer and the opportunity to make an appointment with one of our repairers. The invoices of the claim are then automatically shared by InShared with the repair companies, and presto, the claim is completed in the very same session. The client is happy because all is clear and quick, and we're happy because it involves less hands and more efficiency. Plus, we're minimalising fraud, since all the details are interconnected and we've translated our years of experience into background business rules that filter out any suspicious reports. Okay, but what happens with more complicated cases? A smaller group of claims end up in the second level. The client will then be contacted by our small call centre to ask for more information, and then, if possible, returned to the automised process. Otherwise, they'll be forwarded to our team specialised in more complicated cases and injury claims. And of course, these latter cases will be processed in the most personal way possible. The Special Claims team works with a fully digitised workflow management system, whereby via a few mouse clicks you can precisely see what's going on and what needs to be done. Indexing digital post, completing work assignments, processing incoming payments and reacting to any automatic messages from the clearinghouse. It's all digital and all connected with each other to give you the best overview and insight. We all benefit is our slogan for a reason. SinoClaim makes the whole claims process faster and easier, while minimising the chance of mistakes. This serves the client since they can follow the whole process online in their digital claims folder. We couldn't make it any more transparent. And it's great for us since fewer people are needed, which is cheaper and results in lower premiums. To put it briefly, the new claims process. You're welcome. Kind regards from InShared.
Just to give you an idea of how we did things. How did we get to the highest client satisfaction? What do we do? Well, basically, I guess the key is that the clients do everything themselves. They are fully in control. They have maximum self-service. We enable them to do it themselves. We make everything very easy, very transparent. And they can find everything they need in their own digital policy map. So we never send any paper to our clients. They can find everything on their mobile or on their desktop devices. This is how it looks, the mobile, the policy map. So you can see all the insurances you have. You can see all the invoices you paid. You can see where you are with referring to the bonus system that I talked about. And if you had a claim, that was just mentioned in the video, you would also see the status of the claim here. So you can see exactly where you are in the process and what happens. The fact that you have everything in one view has a couple of advantages. First of all, the fact that people see what they have in terms of insurances and what they don't have makes them buy more. So they're more inclined to buy other products. And the fact that you can see the status of your claim here also means that we get less calls, because we used to get a lot of calls of what happened to my claim, etc. And now they can look it up themselves. I said before, you cannot call us in case you have a question about a product. That's true, but of course we have options where you can contact us. Well, these are the options. I start on the right. We have Fleur, and she is our digital agent. And behind Fleur is a frequently asked database. And with that database, she can answer around 90 to 95% of questions. We update the database every week, every 2 weeks, based on the questions that we get and based on any changes that we may make. If Fleur is not good for you, or you want something else, you can either send an email, which we answer within 24 hours, or you can live chat during business hours. So we have all the options, except for calling. Of course, if we have, let's say, an email correspondence with a client that is more than, let's say, 2 emails or 2 replies to each other, then our team will call the client, because then it's easier to solve it. But normally it's not. As I said, we do everything digital, so also the green card. And funny story here, I know it's not in every country, but a lot of countries have the green card as a proof of the insurance. We made it white first, because we thought if people want to print it at home, it's more friendly if it's white, because you lose less ink. But clients didn't get it. They were like, no, it's my green card, it must be green. So in terms of innovation, sometimes you have to, not be too different. The video that I showed about the claims handling, we introduced it April last year without media attention. So clients just have the option, they can either call to make the claim or they do it online. And more than 50%, I asked yesterday, it's now 60%, that actually makes the claim online. So they decide to do it online with the questionnaire instead of filling out a form. So that's how we got to the client satisfaction highest in the market. So how do we get to the lowest cost ratio? Well, it basically has to do with these 3 assets. And I'm starting here, which is the platform. We started with our own platform, and I think that's one of the big advantages we have over a lot of other players, because we have no legacy. We created our own platform, we started from scratch. I will show you what it looks like. The second one is the smart risk modeling. Every insurance company needs the risk modeling, but for an online player, it is even more important, it's even more vital. Because if you're new in the market, if you're digital, people try. They think, oh, they won't know, and they got kicked out somewhere else, and they go to a new player. So you have to be strict, and even more stricter than others. And then the third one is the marketing analytics. Because we are fully online, we know everything of our clients. We know exactly what they do on the website, how long they're on the website, when they come back, etc. So if you come to our offices, we have screens everywhere where you can see how many people are on the website, where they are in the process, where they are in the funnel, etc., which gives us instant information to manage on. So a bit more about the platform. This is basically how it's built. And the uniqueness is this, that we have one integrated administration for product, client, and claims. So instead of having a big spaghetti of all kinds of systems and links that need to be made, we have one database, one administration that is built open source, and that talks, let's say, through web services to all the partners we need in the process, and which in the end also gives the information that is needed on the website. To us, the website is the least exciting part. It's like the skin of everything. This is where we can be different. I made 2 because the system was made scalable, and we offered it also as a white label solution for a retail brand in the Netherlands called HEMA. And as you can see, their website is completely different, but the engine below is the same. So they have also an integrated database. They have different web services, they have different products, but you can use it the same way. Well, this is the risk model. I guess everyone recognizes some kind of database structure like this. What we have to do with 4 or 5 questions, we have to determine whether this is a client we want to insure and what the price should be for this client. And in the Netherlands, if you give the price, if you give the quote, that's the price. It doesn't change. I know in some countries it can change afterwards. Here it can't. And we have to have this organized in such a way that based on those 4 or 5 questions, we can give an answer within 4 or 5 seconds. Because if we can't, they left the website. So we have to be quick. Well, this is how the platform is built. So everything is in there, and it supports all the business processes that are needed to run the operations and to be the insurance company we want to be. It was tested also, because I can tell you a nice story that it works, but it was also tested by some IT companies. And this is actually the best part of it. The system enables us to manage 500,000 policies with 32 people. And even better is the fact that if we would double in size, if we would have 1 million policies, we may need 3 people more, but we definitely don't need 30 people more. So for us, volume is key because it allows us to benefit even more from what we have built. And I think that's also the big advantage of being digital over being traditional. So what does it mean for our growth? Well, as I said at the start, we currently have a 10% market share of the online insurances. We believe that pie will get bigger because now 50% is sold online. It will probably grow to 70–80% in the Netherlands. So if we grow with the market, it's already good, but of course we want to grow faster. And why is that so important to us? Coming back to what I said before, why is volume so key? I start here. This is, let's say, the gray part is the cost in absolute terms, and the pink part is the GWP. So what you can see here is that even though we grew GWP by 40%, the cost is still the same. And I think that's different for a lot of companies, and that also allows us, this is the average cost rate for insurers in the Netherlands, direct insurers in the Netherlands, and it allows us to go well below. So the HEMA portfolio that I was talking about, the white label, we run at 10%. And it's a small portfolio because the Netherlands is a tiny country. Yeah? So that means for us that offering Cynosure, the platform, as a white label platform to other insurers is another lever for growth. So it's not just growing the business of InShared and HEMA, but it's also using the platform for other players, either in the Netherlands or in other countries, because it can work with any risk carrier behind it. And why would another company do that? Well, these are the results of HEMA, the white label retail brand in the Netherlands. To give you an idea of sizes, it's a GWP of 30 million, so it's really not big for countries like Spain and the UK. They had a combined ratio of 130%, so it was loss-making. Now we have, so after 1 year we got to a loss ratio of 92%, and now we are a little bit below that. Based on moving everything from a traditional field to a digital field allowed us to both decrease the cost ratio and the claims ratio. So that's basically the proof of what a digital model can do in the insurance world.